There are defense ministers, senior officials, and hundreds of business leaders from around the world. A big welcome to each of you. This is the largest ever Aero India. This reflects a new level of confidence within our country and global interests in India. Too many of you, India is a major business opportunity. We have the reputation as the largest importer of defense equipment in the world. That may be music to the ears of some of you here, but this is one area where we would not like to be number one. Our security challenges are well known. Our international responsibilities are evident. We do need to increase our defense preparedness. We do have to modernize our defense forces. We have to equip ourselves for the needs of the future where technology will play a major role. As a nation of 1 billion people, we also have huge requirements for managing internal security. We are increasingly integrating technology and systems into it. These opportunities make Aero India an important international event. For me, this is not just a trade fair for defense equipment. This is a mega meeting of one of the largest global supply chains with the most advanced technology and complex equipment, and a platform to launch India's defense manufacturing sector. A nation with a strong defense industry will not only be more secure, it will also reap rich economic benefits. It can boost investment, expand manufacturing, support enterprise, raise the technology level, and increase economic growth in the country. In India, the defense industry in the government sector alone employs nearly 200,000 workers and thousands of engineers and scientists. They produce an output of nearly $7 billion annually. It also supports a very large pool of small and medium enterprise. Our defense industry in private sector is still small, but it already employs thousands of people. This is despite the fact that our 60% of our defense equipment continues to be imported, and we are spending tens of billions of dollars on acquisition from abroad. There are studies that show that even a 20 to 25% reduction in imports could directly create an additional 100,000 to 120,000 highly skilled jobs in India. If we could raise the percentage of domestic procurement from 40% to 70% in the next 5 years, we would double the output in our defense industry. Imagine the impact in terms of jobs created directly in the related manufacturing and services sector. Think of the speed of benefits on other sectors in terms of advanced materials and technologies. That is why we are focusing on developing India's defense industry with a sense of mission. This is why it is at the heart of our Make in India program. We are reforming our defense procurement policies and procedures. There will be a clear preference for equipment manufactured in India. Our procurement procedures will ensure simplicity, accountability, and speedy decision making. We have raised the permitted level of foreign direct investment to 49%. This can go higher in the project brings state-of-the-art technology. We have permitted investments up to 24% by foreign institutional investments. And there is no longer a need to have a single Indian investor with at least a 50% stake. Industrial licensing requirements have been eliminated for a number of items. Where it is needed, the process has been simplified. We are expanding the role of private sector even for major platforms. Our goal is to provide a level playing field for all. We speak in terms of national capacity, not public sector or private sector. Offset system is a crucial instrument to develop and upgrade our defense industry. We have introduced significant reforms in our offset policy. I'm actually aware that it will need a lot of improvements. We will pursue them in consultation with domestic industry and our foreign partners. I want our offset policy not as a means to export low-end products, but to acquire state-of-the-art technology and skills in core areas of priority. Government support for research and development is essential for defense sector, and it should also be accompanied by degree of assure on purchase. We are introducing a scheme to provide up to 80% of funding from the government for development of a prototype in India. And we are also launching a technology development fund. For too long, our research and development has been confined to government laboratories. We must involve our scientists, soldiers, academia, industry, and independent experts more closely in research and development. Last month, at the Army Day reception, I had asked to meet our officers and soldiers who had made the best innovations in our defense equipment. I was impressed with what I saw. Finally, we have made our export policies clearer, simpler, and predictable. But we will also abide by the highest standards of export controls and international responsibility. We will expand our exports, but we will ensure that our equipment and technology do not fall into the wrong hands. India's record in this area has been impeccable, and it will remain so. I am pleased with the positive impact of our policies. Indian private corporations have responded with enthusiasm. There is new excitement in our small and medium-scale sector. Many of the biggest global firms are forming strategic partnership in India. Some of them have already begun using India as part of their global supply chains or engineering services. In September 2014, Dynamic Technologies and its collaborator Boeing inaugurated a plant in India to manufacture a critical parts of Boeing helicopter that is sold globally. I understand that it was done a day after Make in India was launched. I am pleased to learn that the first set of parts is ready for shipment today. But we still need to do more. We have to further reform our acquisition and approval processes. We must indicate a clear roadmap of our future needs. This must take into account not only new technology trends, but also the nature of future challenges. We must pay attention to developing supply chains with emphasis on innovation. We must bridge the gap between prototype development and quality of production. We must develop a financing system suited to the special needs of this industry. It is a market where buyers are mainly governments. The capital investments are large and the risks are high. We must ensure that our tax system does not discriminate against domestic manufacturers in comparison to imports. More broadly, our defense industry will succeed more if we can transform the manufacturing sector in India. We need great infrastructure, sound business climate, clear investment policies, ease of doing business, stable and predictable tax regime, and easy access to inputs. We need a national industry that produces advanced materials and the most sophisticated electronics and the best engineering products. Over the last 8 months, we have worked hard to create that environment for you. Above all, we need a vast pool of highly skilled and qualified human resources for the defense industry. Our aerospace industry alone would need about 200,000 people in another 10 years. We'll set up special universities and skill development centers to cater to our defense industry, just as we have done in atomic energy and space. I have especially invited the state governments to come here with package of facilities to attract investment in defense manufacturing. Distinguished guests, this is the beginning of a new era for the defense industry in India. It will be no longer enough to buy equipment and simply assemble them here. We have been doing this in the past without absorbing any technology or developing our own capabilities. In some areas, we are where we were 3 decades ago. Frankly, our public sector needs to do much better than they are doing now. We have to exploit their huge assets and vast potential. At the same time, we have to make them accountable. We want to develop an industry that is dynamic. It should constantly stay at the cutting edge of the global industry. I am confident that India will emerge as a major global center for defense industry. We have the basic building blocks for it in India and a large national requirement. We will build an industry that will have room for everyone, public sector, private sector, and foreign firms. From sailors, foreign firms must turn into strategic partners. We need the technology, skills, systems, integration, and manufacturing strength. The nature of industry is such that imports will always be there. In turn, they can use India as part of their global supply chain. Defense budget around the world are become tighter. India frugal but sophisticated manufacturing and engineering services sectors can help reduce costs. India can also be a base for export to third countries, especially because of India's growing defense partnership in Asia and beyond. A strong Indian defense industry will not only make India more secure, it will also make India more prosperous. Aero India can be a catalyst in realizing our goals. That is why I am here today. So, as we look at this wonderful aircraft and enjoy the amazing fly pass, I also hope we can get some business done and sow the seeds of successful new ventures and partnership to give our people new opportunities to make our nation safer and the world more stable and peaceful. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.